Hello lovely people and welcome back to my studio. I really love how this corner of the room turned out and will happily spend my days here. But today I've been craving something different, like going outside to do some sketching. The weather is transitioning into autumn right now and I love autumn and my autumn walks, but the time I have to actually paint outside can be limited by upcoming rain or cold. So today I'll take the opportunity to go outside while it's still warm and do some painting. But before that, let's pack some art supplies. Firstly, I'm going to take my watercolor sketchbook by Honeymule. And about the paints, this is my favorite Winsor & Newton professional palette. A folding compact water cup and my pencil case, which is already loaded, but let's add an eraser and some ink pens. These are my favorite brushes by Princeton Neptune series. One flat and a few round brushes. I've picked this park as it brings me cozy, happy memories, and watching its residents enjoying the last summer days is magical. This time, which feels more like a one single moment when the season shifts, is really dear to me. The sun rays make the colors that autumn brings brighter and vivid. We still have this lush green, but combined with ochre, orange, and rusty brown. And there, near the lake, I found a wonderful spot to observe the geese, the ducks, and the gleaming water, or at least I thought so. I was aiming for a simple sketch to capture some of the wildlife in my sketchbook. I always take a lot of pictures on my phone, which later on just remain forgotten. But with the sketchbook, this moment lasts longer in my memory, evoking feelings and smiles. If you've tossed somewhere your sketchbook, here's a sign to rediscover it. It's like a visual journal that not only helps us to remember, but also expands our creative potential, locks ideas that someday might shine again. And despite old trends and social media, all sketchbooks are different, unique for each of us. They carry our own voice, the feelings we can't express with words, the things we want to remember, and sometimes things we want to forget, but still ours. I always have troubles depicting water in my art, and this time I decided just to hint it and accent on the geese and their calm dance floating the water. There is something in birds that brings me back to them as a subject to draw, something familiar and free. In this world filled with rules and restraints, watching these creatures is a breath of fresh air. At this point, I think I've realized I underestimated the weather. The wind suddenly felt so cold and the sun couldn't warm me enough, so I thought I should move to a better spot and the walk would warm me up a bit. The walk wasn't enough, so I put my jacket on and took a hot chocolate from the cafe as I didn't want to go home yet. This spot on the other side of the lake seemed sheltered from the winds, so I continued my sketch here. All this sudden cold reminded me that autumn is here. Not officially, but the warm hours of the day are less and I have to adapt myself to that. Probably still will search for these warm, dry moments to sketch, to enjoy a walk in the next month, but definitely better equipped. I wanted to finish the page with another bird, slightly bigger, and I picked a female mallard. Here I must say I started to relax and enjoy the process more. I don't know if it's for the hot chocolate, the lack of wind, or the company, but I felt this creative vibe in me. As I am a pretty easily distracted person, getting into that stage of creation takes time and a proper atmosphere. Layering these colors made me thinking how limited my palette can be if I want to, and how this can turn into something beautiful. If less space or colors can be an excuse to avoid sketching, it's totally unrealistic. I also was wandering between male and female duck for this last one, as the males of this kind have beautiful bluish-green tones on their heads, but finally chose to stick with the brown theme of the spread and picked a female. While I was drawing, I imagined a cute duck family in their nest, snuggled to each other, warming one another. Maybe I found some new characters for my forest story, who knows? There is a problem of getting into that creative mode. For better or worse, you start ignoring things. Like I did with the huge dark clouds above my head. My partner telling me it's going to rain soon probably 100 times for the past 20 minutes, so I had to abandon the nice bench in the park. But not my sketchbook spread. Let's finish it in the studio. For this other page, I've gathered some fallen leaves that will be my inspiration. Later on, I will press them in a book and hopefully won't forget about them. It was something we did as kids, pressing leaves and flowers between the pages of old books, then collaging them into a sheet of paper to show our teachers. I want to have fun here, to observe how the watercolors spread gently into the water. I realized I need to break the cycle of realistic drawing attempts with some playfulness to regenerate that imagination of mine, and I guess to relax a little and reflect on the day. With my idea to expand my drawing and painting skills, sometimes I forget about the pure joy of experimenting and color mixing. Color directly influences our emotions, feelings, and mood, and watching the flow of the water-soluble colors is absolutely beautiful. Through this play, certain color combinations can speak to us and help us to find our own style. I've always been scared to paint leaves, but this loose approach and gentle mixes really suits me. This color palette sets me into the cozy autumn mood. Imagine warm blankets, soft jumpers, teacups, and comforting stories. That's the power of the sketchbook. It can transport you everywhere you want to be right now, and it carries your own experiences and voice. Finally, I decided to add some acorns to the whole composition, like they were the missing part of the puzzle to make the page look complete. The combination of these colors is somehow energizing and relaxing in the same time. They are vivid but also connected with the dying season, the summer's leaving. Maybe that's why we like autumn so much, because it's more complex, not only a pretty aesthetic. It changes everything around us, leads us to winter and cold, but warms us with colors and ideas. It explores the beauty of something that's almost gone and makes us cherish it, with the promise of return next year. An order only the nature can create in this uncertain human world, and I totally need this order for my scattered thoughts. The not so surprising rain kind of spoiled my adventure in the park, but also gave me time to think and a story to tell about a special day. The day I almost finished a sketch in the park. Stay creative, my friends. Bye.